Hey everyone, this is Jerry with Bronson Creative, and today we're going to break down another scene from my second feature film, Little Hand. Let's jump into it. So, one of the things that we wanted to play with when we were doing this is I wanted to have these callbacks. And so you'll see right there as it starts, we start with her laying in bed and then we cut back into this sequence. The first time we do that, we do a match cut of her face. I didn't want to do that this time because I wanted to let you know now we are kind of going in real time. So by the time you get to this part of the film, we're actually progressing through time in reality. So we're not breaking it anymore. We're having real conversations that are happening now that she knows that she's reliving that experience. She's not breaking the time anymore. And so this is a callback to a previous one where he had lifted her up on the beach and ran her around in the water and things like that. It was this romantic little thing that had happened. And so she's asking for that again, but realizing there have been so many things that have been changed in their relationship that that scenario will never happen again. You would have to force it. And so with that, we started to play with this emptiness. So we were able to get this beach. We got there very, very early. This is at El Matador. And so we went down to the very, very end before the, before the tide started to come in, so we were able to have that. You'll also notice that sound is very, very difficult when you're at the beach, so consider that when you're doing it. It leads to a very beautiful image, but sometimes the sound is very difficult, and so this sequence took a lot of sound design, a lot of fixing to get it to where you're hearing it now. So when we were playing with this sequence though, I thought it was very interesting that Brendan still doesn't know anything has happened. Danny has all the power. She can manipulate it, she can change it, she can alter it however she chooses to do. And what I found interesting in doing all of that, she decides to try to recreate the scenarios that were already in her memory. And I don't know, that just was very interesting to me as a character dynamic. It was kind of heartbreaking to be able to see that given anything that could change, you still want to go back to the things that were beautiful about something in the past, even if it hurt you. And so one of those things was this sequence. So now we're getting into the last couple shots. We filmed this towards the end of the movie, and so we wanted to I wanted to get these in shots like this towards the end of the film. But here in a second, you're going to see actually what we filmed very first. So now that we know what has happened to these characters, she's trying to embrace the fact that, oh, this is the new relationship. It may not be what I thought it was, it may not be what I want it to be, but this is the new relationship. And so as they're doing that, you can start to see that things are glossing over, but I don't think she ever forgets. You just never forget those things. So as you're trying to figure out what will this relationship be, what will I get out of it, do I want to make it be exactly like it used to be? You start to think about those things. You'll also see that the pacing of the film starts to really slow down. These last couple things are just a couple of singular shots, stuff like that. We started playing with dolly shots. We started playing with a little bit of movement. I wanted to play with these aspects of filmmaking that start to make it feel like time is floating. And so we have these little bitty dolly moves, we have these little lens flares, we have these little things that are happening, not a lot of cutting. And so consider that when you're making your film, what is the tone, what is the pace? Why is the camera being placed where it's at? We shot a bunch of shots for these sequences that when we got to the end, we just kind of threw away because we realized it was just easier and it made more sense to the structure of the film if we just simplified it. You had seen this shot of this room multiple times throughout the film, and this was the first time that you realized, oh, it faces east. The sun rises in the east. The very first time we meet these characters early on, she says that she loves sunrises over sunsets. It was all these little things that we had planted throughout the film that if you're really paying attention, you're gonna get. And so if you watch the film, you'll see that we plant a lot of things early on that kind of come back in these little aspects. So this sequence right here, we actually filmed the very, very first day of it because we had the house empty. It was before we built it. We wanted to have, just an empty house. And we also wanted to see where the film was kind of going. When you're making a film, sometimes you do it out of order, sometimes you do it in order. After this, we filmed basically in order. But I wanted to know where we were going. Also, we needed these pictures. And so we took these photographs in this empty room as she's going through, and if you see that cutaway, they're littered on the floor. Because now she's trying to recreate a moment that if you remember early on in the film, she had a Polaroid that was on her vanity mirror. we've been looping now so many times, and she's in control of it, that she's trying to recreate that memory. It will never happen, but she will try and try and try and try and try. And I just think that is what the whole essence of the film is. Sometimes we'll try to go back to the things that we thought were so great, but they weren't really that great. And what I realized from this is moving on is also a positive thing to do. So this was my second feature film, Little Hand. This is the beach end sequence towards the end of the film. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you'll make your own film, and when you do, I hope you'll share it with me. So have a great day, and thanks for checking us out.